Welcome back to the news at 10. Our special report tonight is on Arinto waterfalls in Ikpole-Iloro, Ekiti State, one of the many natural resources in the country begging for attention. In spite of its huge potential to boost the internally generated revenue of the state, it appears nothing is being done to properly harness it. Our correspondent, Chris Lems, visited the community and now reports.
Ekiti is one of the numerous states created in 1996. And for so many key watchers of the political space in Nigeria, Ekiti is probably one of the most challenged, having churned out twice as much governors as other states in the country. These scenes played out by the political gladiators here may have cast a dark shadow over all the inherent features the state is blessed with. From the state capital, Ado-Ekiti, we set out on an approximately 1-hour drive to Ikpole-Iloro, one of the numerous communities tucked away from the hassles and bustles of city life. Finally, we arrive at Ikpole-Iloro, a very quiet town, and home to the imposing Arinto waterfalls. The community is strategically located in a valley surrounded by rocks on all sides. The people here are believed to have migrated from Ife in the 14th century and settled at different points before they finally took possession of this present site. Major source of revenue here is farming.
When you ask an Ekiti man, what's your produce? Surely yam will be one of the major things we do here. We farm yam, cocoa, cola nuts. We have banana and plantain. You know, there are two types, banana and plantain. So those are then cassava. We have a very beautiful waterfall here that can even be used for hydroelectricity. It doesn't dry. And it used to perform wonder when during the dry season, it is then the volume is used to be very high.
The landscape features a vast expanse of rich vegetation, and it's about a 4-minute walk through the lush greenery.
We take you to another place.
Some of the trees here are believed to be over 200 years old. As we approach the waterfall, the noise generated from water splashing the rock increases, and the rhythm is inviting. Lo and behold, the great Arinto waterfalls, nature's gift to Ekiti people in its natural state.
Wow, this is beautiful. Amazing. The Arinto waterfall.
The water cascades down the rocks from a great height. The ambience here is also cool, soothing, and enchanting.
There are a lot of resources in the state, like the one we are seeing here today, the Arinto waterfall in Ikpole-Iloro, begging for exploitation. So it is the duty of, the community cannot do it alone. The community is ready to support the government to come down here and utilize all these resources.
Arinto waterfalls is made up of 7 plains, which are negotiated through natural staircases made of rocks.
I've checked records of waterfall in the world. Arinto waterfall is not listed, and some of us are not happy about it. We should not be wasting a kind of opportunity given to us by God to also make money. The same way God gave oil to the south and some part of southeast people. The same way God also gave us Arinto waterfall. If we have a tourism site like Arinto and we are not making use of it economically, then we should blame ourselves.
Our journey to Ikpole-Iloro ends here, but the memory will last for a very long time. And we hope that the natural endowment of this community would be thoroughly harnessed in order to boost the revenue drive of the people. Chris Lems, Channels Television News.
Return to Abia State, now in Nigeria's southeast region, a state with opportunities in agriculture, business, crude oil and gas production. These opportunities, however, can only be harnessed if all necessary infrastructure is in place, a case for which residents of the state are calling for help. Our community report tonight looks at the travails of this 24-year-old state and the people fighting for their land.
Etisala, now you're talking.
Abia State, in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Created in 1991 from part of Imo State, the state has crude oil and gas production as a prominent activity which contributes 39% of the GDP. Agriculture employs 70% of the state's workforce and is the second economic sector of Abia. But it appears both sources of livelihood are turning out to be either creating problems or fast disappearing. The first, which has turned out to be problematic, is the crude. Exposed petroleum pipelines are common sights in communities under a Isikwat or local government area, a situation that has led to pollution of water sources and environmental degradation, destroying potentials of agricultural growth. Expectedly, residents here are crying out for help.
This village has just damaged and spoiled our river, our source of drinking water, and as well as our farm land. We need the urgent help of the federal government as well as the NNPC, so the situation will be taken care of once and for all.
They're supposed to know what to do, because now we can't do anything. Even our cassava, all of them are polluted.
So we need aid to sustain that place again.
The second issue plaguing the state is erosion, which is fast rendering people homeless, and like the crude, is also destroying farmlands in Umuniochi local government area. Infrastructure like this school and National Integrated Power Project are at the verge of being washed away by erosion. This market has now reduced greatly in size as a result of the land acquisition.
We are just beginning, but I expect them to show compassion. I expect them to show sympathy. What actually grieved me more than anything else was nobody was sympathizing with my people.
We are appealing to the federal government to see what they can do. Because this one, to me, it seems this passes state government level. We are appealing to them to use their good offices to effect a very big change.
Members of the Abia State House of Assembly, representing both constituencies, have visited the affected areas and expressed determination to resolve the problems.
I'm calling on the federal government to please come to our aid. I wouldn't want this to happen again. Their lives, they should remember, is in danger. It's in danger.
The flood has affected not less than 275 houses within within the Umudim community in Ezingodowat. They're not safe, they're under threat. Because the word threat means that anything can happen to them anytime. Yeah? They're threatened by erosion.
How soon these words will be translated to action is what the people want to see, before all they have toiled for throughout their lives turns out to be a waste of time.
Etisala, now you're talking.
Youths in the Federal Capital Territory under the aegis of Abuja Original Inhabitants Youth Empowerment Organization have staged a peaceful protest at the Centenary city in Abuja. The protest, according to the youth, is to highlight non-payment of compensation, contrary to the claims of full payment by Federal Government Committee on the city. The president of the organization, Comrade Isaac David, appealed to President Muhammadu Buhari to urgently set up a committee to review the claims. The inhabitants of the area and others who acquired land before the creation of the Centenary city were sent packing to pave way for the exercise to go on. Comrade David, however, advised the project managers to stop further activities in the affected communities located in Kuje and Abuja Municipal Area Council until the issues concerning compensation and resettlement are fully resolved. Reduce, reuse and recycle. These words are the guidelines by which environmentalists live by in the protection of the plants, and one artist has joined the bandwagon, albeit with a different approach. Chinze Ojobo is a multi-talented artist whose love for mixed media acrylic sets her apart from most other female artists. Well, she's taken it a notch higher, cleaning up the canvas with materials others consider as waste. Art Review tonight takes a look at a woman determined to pass the message of cleanliness through her craft.
Reduce, reuse, recycle has become a mantra by environmentalists eager to make the earth a safer place to live in as they keep sounding the alarm on the danger of dumping without doing something to that dirt.
I work with a lot of, stuff, rather than throw them away, I use them to do artwork. So most of my works are textured with things, found objects and all that. So they're interesting and they're not predictable. It's like my works are unpredictable. You don't know what you see. So whatever I find, I use.
Reclaiming the environment by turning its waste to wealth is what Chinze Ojobo has done in her solo exhibition titled Dominating My Environment, has done with these works of art.
I do stylized African art, but I try to use recycled materials to work.
Determined to play her role in healing the world and making it a better place, her works not only push for a healthier world, there are other issues as well that breathe through these pieces. Notice the titles: Expression, Songs of Our Land, Minstrels, amongst others, which have different storylines. She has also taken the energy captured from traversing different continents and poured it into her works, which raises questions about issues people in Africa try to avoid, like the role of women in the society and why women should raise each other up rather than pull each other down. A piece like Surulere engages in this conversation.
These are ladies, Lagos ladies, you know how they are. They're all so fashionable and nice looking. These are tomato sellers. But rather than, be cool about themselves, they still look very nice and beautiful, all looking nice, selling their tomatoes, doing their business. And the way Surulere is, I call Surulere a sunset. So that's what this one is all about.
The materials used for these works are your everyday rundown materials, especially when broken or bent. It's seen as useless pieces of garbage, but to artists like Chinze, it's precious and she uses it to create treasure. This multi-talented artist is a graduate of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and has participated in several group exhibitions. But she's on a mission to encourage other women to brace up to the change they want to see, as there are opportunities lurking in the most unusual places, like the bin, for instance, which is just a metaphor to say, seize the day. Make every minute count.
Still ahead on the news at 10, rains delay start of US Open men's final. That's the moment in sports news. Please join us again.